Alright, welcome back to our first review in months. Not months, a couple of weeks. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Anyhow, we're going to be reviewing the self-titled by Sublime and going over my track-by-track thoughts throughout the entire thing. Anyhow, on to the review itself. My first thoughts. I deeply adore Sublime's first album, and many tracks on this one. I'm predicting I'll love it throughout its runtime. Some of the longer albums I've reviewed are almost a full hour, so I may get tired by the end. I had to push myself to even start this one, and I've not felt quite right lately. Track 1, Garden Grove. We open on some strings. This is quickly replaced by a rather expected drum beat. The soundscape is busy, yet clear and varied. The bass is mixed super loud, not unlike 40 Ounces to Freedom. Garden Grove itself is a slowish song, which really shows the beauty of Bradley Nowell's voice. Truly gone too soon. Samples of dog noises are interspersed throughout a line or two. He says shit an uncomfortable amount of times in one line. There's a synth in the background sometimes, and it's a diverse track using every now and then unconventional tactics. This really isn't for me, but I don't outright hate it. It's just noisy, and it feels like the opposite of 40 ounce. The last minute or so feels like I'm getting a lobotomy. Echoey faint singing while the instrumental slowly gets louder, instruments coming and going at random while someone chants Martinez. This is a bad trip, and I don't like it at all, so I'm never going to listen to it again. Garden Grove is a C. Track 2, What I Got. Everyone knows this one. There's some kind of odd panning effect going on, sounding a little weird. Bass is heavy, as is typical for Sublime, and there's a nice acoustic guitar. This track would work better in mono. I hate the panning, but it stops after the first verse. It's much more on the traditional side of Sublime's music, not feeling too avant-garde, but having enough experimentation to weird you out and feel fresh. It's a lot shorter than Garden Grove, making it fairly palatable. It's different than I remember, and not the best there is, but it's tolerable, so I'll give it an A-. Track 3, Wrong Way. I'm not addressing the lyrics to this one. This has like across the sea energy. Uncomfortable lines are masked well by a fun beat, which feels distinctly live. There's a goofy brass solo about halfway through, and it doesn't make it any less weird. It's uncool. It's also really, really short, so there's not even much to say or even dissect. It flies by at Mach speeds and ends as quickly as it began, so it's a B+. Track 4, Same in the End. That's a jump scare opening, possibly one of the fastest songs I've ever heard. The guitars are loud and crunchy and fun, which reminds me of early Weezer. I really hope this isn't one of 3 good songs on the album. Foreshadowing. Insane amounts of skill went into this. Can't imagine how difficult it must be. I could lose myself in this, very up my alley. Same in the End kicks ass in any direction and goes up as one of the best on the album. It's an A+. Track 5, April 29th, 1992, Miami. I'm starting to get very sick of the scratching in the background. It's not fun. The song's about participating in a riot, and I can't endorse it at all. It's just being about being a total dick because everyone else is being, like, true story or not. Uncool, very uncool. I won't even address the beat or anything. Instead, I'll rant about how fucked up this is. You have zero reason to riot. It doesn't help your cause at all. Riots only serve to make you and what you stand for look like violent, primitive barbarism. Fuck this, it's not even that good a song. This is like I'm a lefty edgelord on Reddit song. Cringe. My political beliefs prevent me from enjoying it, so I'll give it a D. Track 6, Santeria. There's no song like this. From its iconic, calming opening and beautiful reggae soul, it serves to cool your nerves and relax you from the tension and rage of April 29th, 1992. I have very few words. Santeria is objectively one of the best songs ever recorded. I've never heard of anyone who hates it. A true standout track on not just the album, but Sublime's discography as a whole. It's not harsh, abrasive, or rough. It's perfection. A+. Track 7, Seed. And when I thought they couldn't go any faster, they did. For about 5 seconds. The song's like whiplash. It changes styles about 10 times a minute. It's almost unenjoyable, but here I'll choose to praise the experimental nature. Also, kick-ass solo. It's like if Johnny B. Good was punk, and that is objectively cool as fuck. Other than that, Seed is pretty much a bunch of random noises, almost completely incoherent and hard to listen to. And when he screams, he sounds like Lars Frederiksen, so that's cool. Doesn't save it, though. Mid at best and bad at worst, B+. Track 8, Jailhouse, transitions seamlessly from Seed. It's a song you can't not move to, at least in some capacity. I don't know why I can't write much about this song. It's just good, go listen to it. It's almost instinctually enjoyable. There's not much to say here. It's as simple as just being a good song. And I don't know what the hell is going on during the last minute. It kind of goes off the rails from being a simple jam, ending abruptly. It's an A. Track 9, Pawn Shop. The longest track on the album by over a full minute. It takes a similar amount of time to actually start. Pawn Shop is a major stoner song. You put this on and you dissociate for its entire runtime because you have no thoughts in your head. Repetitive, though engaging. Pawn Shop is easy to use as background music and very little else. It's 6 minutes of brain rot that makes you feel really good while you listen to it, so it's an A. Track 10, Paddle Out. Whiplash again. Double-tracked vocals and possibly fast punk. It's a minute and 15 seconds of intensity that makes you feel like you're having a panic attack the entire time. I'd say calm it down, but it's over before it even starts. Why it's here? It's of no substance. I don't know why. And once again, brain rot, so it's a B+ for existing. Track 11. I'm not saying this title, I'd laugh myself to death. I'm that immature. Doesn't matter, the song itself is weird. I can't explicitly tell what it's about. It's references to heroin and killing cops for some reason. It's absolutely nothing. Filler. 3 brain rot in a row. Brain rot in a 10. Take a shot every time I've said brain rot thus far and try not to die. C. Track 12. Burritos. I just wrote the word burrito for this one in lowercase. Grade burritos plus. Track 13, Under My Voodoo. Sick intro riff, it almost feels like Black Sabbath. This kicks ass. It feels distinctly 70s and right up my alley. Distinct, acidic, and probably not great on your mind. A true standout track that doesn't receive quite enough attention. The ending's a little weird, but for nuance's sake, for once I'll let it slide because the rest is awesome enough. Experience the high and come down in 3 minutes. The ending is like Tomorrow Never Knows or I'm Only Sleeping. That's cooler still, so it's an A+. Track 14, Get Ready. This song's about how this guy really hates people who say you probably shouldn't smoke weed. But the health benefits. Look at these studies. You only cite those because they cater to your viewpoint. What am I doing talking to a straw man? Did you know the majority of studies can never be replicated? Go to the top posts on r/science or all stuff that Redditors use to say, haha, look, I might be wrong, because science. If that doesn't tell you that it's a sham, nothing will. Anyhow, enough ranting. I've gotten far too political here. The song itself is bad because it just is. I'm feeling arbitrary today and tired of this, so it's a C. Track 15, Caress Me Down. Did you know Sublime with Rome won't play this song out of respect? Despite that, there is little respect found here. I can feel my brain cells decaying in real time. He switches languages midway through, and that makes it feel even trippier. Just plain uncool. Once again, take a shot every time I say uncool. I don't like this song at all. It's super hard to listen to. It feels so fake and weird. This is to Sublime with the Black Album is to Weezer, and it's an F. Track 16, What I Got, Reprise. Normally, I hate reprises, but it's a welcome redo of a song I actually tolerate. It's in a different tempo than the conventional take. It's much more natural feeling, not feeling many of the overdubs or edits that make up the single version of What I Got. I like it, dare I say, more so than the original, if only because it's new and fresh. What I Got, Reprise feels real more living and far less 90s pejorative. Kinda like how I prefer the tracking rough version of Get You to the album version, but I referenced Weezer already in this review. It's an A. Track 17, Doing Time. I swear this one used to sound totally different. This is the first time I'm hearing it with headphones. It might feel a little different because I'm listening to the version where the song contains its title as opposed to being replaced with Summertime. Other than that, it's a decently enjoyable track, though it goes on for a lot longer than it should. At least that's how I feel. This does show Noel's vocal range really well, especially during the Take This Veil From Off My Eyes part. The bass is uncomfortably loud at times, which does hinder my enjoyment, so it's an A- ending the album. Final thoughts. There's not too many standout tracks here and not enough awesome. The latter third of the album is mostly brain rot. It has some amazing songs and a ton of crap, but it's definitely not as fun or memorable as 40 Ounces to Freedom. There's a track for almost every grade I have on this scale, and that's not a good thing. Anyhow, looking back at the scoring, you'll find that this album got an 1180 out of 1700 points, or 69.41%, giving it a high B as its final grade. Hope you like this review, and join me for Wednesdays.